there's a huge change because this episode is filled with good news. Or mostly good news.
Mostly good news, that's correct. And a lot of you guys who are into mid-sized trucks or small trucks are going to be really happy. And also those of you who are fans of the UAW and all the workers out there who recently had agreements scored on, you guys are going to be happy too.
But also, if you like actually building things, this is also good news because a lot of factories will reopen very soon.
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
Because the strike, there's a tentative agreement between UAW and Ford and Stellantis and now GM. So all the big threes are working out their issues with the UAW and they need to vote on this. But I think this is really great news.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they've made more strides in a positive direction, according to the UAW, than they've ever done before. As a matter of fact, just Stellantis alone, $19 billion could be earmarked for the United States for manufacturing, which draws us to this.
Yes, but UAW presidents and vice presidents have slipped some news into this as well over the weekend, of all things.
Yes, and it has to do with Belvidere.
Yes, Belvidere, Illinois, which a plant that used to build the Jeep Cherokee, which the decision to discontinue the Cherokee was also problematic in my mind.
It filled with controversy.
Yeah, controversy. It's a compact crossover that they discontinued in one of the most popular segments in the United States.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
We expected them to actually update the vehicle or make it better in some way, and they didn't.
And then they said, we're bringing this is a quote, right, from UAW representatives, a mid-size pickup back to Belvidere, Illinois plant, and also creating another part of that plant for battery production.
Right.
So how do we dissect this?
Well, that's a really good question. So there are a couple things to keep in mind. First of all, many of you already know about the Ram Rampage. And for those of you who don't, the Ram Rampage is this, which is built actually in South America. This is not a vehicle that is currently being built for the North American market.
Yes.
However, we've seen it testing here in North America quite a bit. And rumors are that this will find a way into production to compete against vehicles like the Ford Maverick and the Hyundai Santa Cruz.
Yeah, but that segment, Nathan, is called compact, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a mid-size vehicle.
So so you wrote this story over the weekend, so thank you very much.
Oh, sure.
This on TFL Truck and oldtfl.com.
Correct.
And I want to read a couple comments from our viewers, readers.
Yeah, try to keep it clean.
Keep it clean. Because I think this is important. Of course, we really appreciate your comments. Rampage is compact, Ray says. Rampage plant assembly location is in Mexico. Either Ram is finally building a midsize Dakota or Stellantis is moving the Rampage to Belvidere, and there's a confusion on its size.
Yep.
I think, Ray, you encapsulated my feelings here
Yep.
in 2 sentences in a really great way. Because I think sometimes there's confusion when people say midsize, right? Like in Japan, Toyota called their electric small pickup midsize. So there is confusion amongst a lot of people.
Yeah, that electric small pickup, by the way, is almost identical in size to the Maverick and to the Santa Cruz.
Yes.
So it's not, frankly, by our measurements. Now, with that all being said, and a lot of you guys are like, well, wait a minute, that Rampage, it's not a truck, it's a unibody with a pickup truck bed. And you'd be absolutely correct in that respect, if that's how you want to look at it. And then other people have said the Dakota, the Ram Dakota,
Yes.
which they believe will be returning, will have a frame similar to a Gladiator, but not quite as beefy, and it will be an actual truck to go up against, like the Tacoma and whatnot. There's no indication on either side of what's going to be happening. The only reason we're mentioning the Rampage is because it's been testing here in the United States, and because right now the compact pickup segment is red hot.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense. And it could also be a hybrid because there is this electrification component to this because they said a battery plant will be also coming online.
That's correct.
But Ken Cunningham summarized my feelings as well here. This idea will get hype and then take 3 years to come to market. This is an issue.
Yeah.
Because if it is a Dakota, if it is a frame-based vehicle with a separate bed, separate cab, right like a Gladiator or a Ranger or a Colorado or a Tacoma, we haven't seen anything similar to this testing.
No.
So this could take years. So I agree with you, Ken. I mean, this could take many years, and it kind of defeats the purpose.
That's correct. But
Right?
yes. But the other side of it is, if it is based on the Rampage, then a lot of the development has already been taken care of.
Yes.
In addition,
Yeah.
there's a couple other things. We know that the Rampage is based on a lot of components that are already basically parts bins
Yes.
for Stellantis. That
Including
includes,
like 2-liter turbo, right?
also that includes the powertrain that's used currently in the Alfa Romeo Tonale and also the Dodge Hornet.
Yes.
Which is a plug-in hybrid variant and also a turbocharged one. So that's entirely possible that type of powertrain could find its way into something like this. As such, far better use for it in my book than, say, a crossover. Let me quickly go over a couple other things, though, with this UAW thing and how it could affect this.
Yes.
Okay, so I mentioned that. I'm talking about the $19 billion. Now, by the way, one bit of news that nobody's covering is that the temp workforce. Normally, these temp people, they're working low wages, long hours, and forever before they finally get into the fold and work full-time and become a full-time employee. Well, now these temp guys can actually get, and gals, get employment full-time after 9 months, which is great, and paying increases across the board. So that's great news. But here's what it all boils down to. According to the Wall Street Journal, one of the issues could be that vehicles like that you just saw could be more expensive. And the reason why is because automakers in many cases are not going to take it in the wallet. They're going to pass on the amount of money that they're pushing towards the UAW to you, the consumer. And that's something to be worried about, meaning, of course, that truck prices, vehicle prices in general could go up.
Yeah, and we've seen that, of course, over the last several months and years.
Yeah.
Prices have already been going up for many different reasons. We've done many shows about this.
Yes, we have.
There's different reasons for this, and check out oldtfl.com for those videos, including podcasts that we have on this. I wanted to point out to some of the data, like you just mentioned, starting rates will rise approximately 67%. This is the latest contract negotiations, right? Workers will receive an 11% raise immediately upon ratification. This is the voting. Lower tier Mopar workers will get 76% raise upon ratification. So, yeah, I mean, this is huge news and big news for even starting workers and all workers in general.
Right. Now, bear in mind that this is just Stellantis, but a lot of the General Motors and Ford are also staying within line of this. So they're all very similar contracts that they're piecing together.
Yeah, Ford was just a few days ago.
Yep.
That's another tentative deal.
And
so,
GM has just happened, or is in the process of happening, I should say.
Yeah,
so,
it's brand new news. I mean, it just came out like an hour ago.
Right. So we are laser focused on this because everything that happens here affects you guys, and of course it affects everything from the pricing to the amount of time it takes to produce a vehicle. This vehicle, or whatever is similar to it, it could take a while before it comes out, but if everything goes well, perhaps it'll only take a couple of years.
Yeah, if it's a Rampage, I mean, they need to do crash testing, emissions testing for United States.
Which they may have already done, we don't know.
And yeah, so this could be fast-tracked, and I'm really hoping it could be this.
That would be awesome for the market.
Yes. Now, let's talk about electrification for just a minute, because batteries were mentioned.
Yes, they were.
Right? So first of all, this Belvidere battery facility could be used for the Ram REV. Right? We all know that Stellantis is still expecting and wants to build an electrified version of their big truck, the Ram 1500 REV, which is revolutionary electric vehicle, as they were calling it. It could also be a hybrid, but I had an epiphany over the weekend. Right, right before the snowstorm that just hit Denver, I was trimming my grass and getting the leaves out of the way. And did you know that? And I'm picking this brand just out of thin air. This is not brought to you by any Craftsman vehicle, or trimmer.
Yeah.
Do you see this price?
Yeah.
It's an electrified grass trimmer.
That's actually kind of pricey.
That you can buy for $119.
Yeah.
Do you know another type of trimmer is using a little 4-cycle 30cc engine?
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, it's more, but isn't it more powerful?
Yes.
Okay.
There's different merits to each, right?
Yeah.
This won't lose power until the fuel runs out.
Right.
The electric one could lose power as the battery drains.
Yeah.
But it's half the price.
Yeah.
So this is electrification that makes sense to me. It makes sense. It will do most jobs. It's half the price of the other one. And it's, less stinky, less vibration.
Less noise.
Less noise. So why couldn't vehicle electrification be the same?
It is somewhere.
Where?
China. Yep, that's right. And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more Chinese innovation coming our way, be it through a proxy, probably not through their own brand names being sold here. But we're already starting to see it, and it's going to go up and up and up because, frankly speaking, they're able to build for less. Am I favoring them? No. I'm merely giving you the news. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, but
and of course, it's a small rant I have.
Yes.
But I know why it's not the same with vehicles, because vehicles have different demands.
Yes.
Trimming, I don't know, 200 yards of grass is a different task than pulling a trailer up a mountain. I totally get it. So, but if electric trucks were on par in price with non-electric trucks, I think we would be living in a different market altogether.
And they did predict at one point in time, because of the modular nature of electric vehicles and the few parts, that they would eventually become much cheaper to build and cheaper to own and blah, 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 based, on that. But we haven't seen it so far. We're just in the infant stages of electrification, though.
Yes. So let us know in the comments below. First of all, do you think the Rampage in this state is coming? Do you think it's going to be redesigned as a Dakota, something larger?
With a frame?
With a frame or a serious beefy frame?
Right.
Let us know in the comments below which way do you think Ram should go or Stellantis should go in this topic.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.